If you've ever dreamt of living in the French countryside, you have probably run the same mental film on a loop. Windows open, big table outside, children on bikes who don't actually exist in your life but are somehow in the movie trailer. Your brain goes, yes, this. I shall wear linen and develop opinions about jam. And yes, that version does exist. We are very good at the warm, sunny part of the year. But then another character walks into the story. Winter. Winter just turns up, sets down a damp briefcase and starts quietly examining your house like a health inspector with a clipboard. It asks questions your kitchen island cannot answer. So today we need to talk about what winter reveals about rural French homes. Not to frighten you, to equip you, so you don't accidentally buy something that behaves like a very handsome, very expensive drinks fridge. Isolation changes flavor. In the bright months, being out in the countryside, à la campagne, can feel like freedom. You step outside and the loudest noise is a distant tractor having an existential crisis. No traffic, no neighbors vacuuming at 6 a.m. Just you and the landscape, and maybe a dog that doesn't officially belong to you but has decided you are emotionally responsible. Then the darker months arrive, the days shrink, the clouds become a long-term relationship. 5 o'clock starts pretending to be midnight. Suddenly, that distance to everything, the commune, the next village, the nearest boulangerie, feels bigger. And you discover a very simple truth. Being warmly welcomed by people and being physically warm inside your house are two separate departments. The lady at the tabac or the cafe can greet you by name and hand you your newspaper. That's social warmth. But unless someone is planning to come round and sort your insulation, in French you will see l'isolation thermique in adverts and reports, your radiators are still on their own. The stone house, noble, heavy and not psychic. Most of the dream properties out here are older. Thick walls, big fireplaces, the kind of place that makes you suddenly start using words like nuke and hearth. On French listings, you will see things like maison en pierre, stone house, longère, a long, low, traditional farmhouse, ancienne grange aménagée, converted barn. Stone is brilliant in warm weather. It naturally slows down heat coming in, which is why those thick-walled houses can feel pleasantly cool when the outside world is behaving like a pizza oven. But in winter, a stone house is very straightforward about what it is. It is not a Scandinavian eco pod. It is not a futuristic bubble. It is a large pile of rock that has been standing there since people traveled by horse. If it could talk, it would say, I am made of stone. Stone keeps its temperature. If you want me to be cozy, you must give me insulation and heat. I will not do it by imagination. A big stone house doesn't heat up like a small flat. It can take 2, 3, sometimes 4 days of proper continuous heating for all that mass to really warm through. Once it's warm, great. It stays warm beautifully. But if you are using it as a winter holiday home for 3 nights, you have essentially booked a romantic break in a slowly reheating sculpture. The good news? Stone loves good insulation, especially in the roof. In French reports, you will see isolation des combles, insulating the loft space, or isolation de la toiture. But you have to check what's actually been done. The house will not wake up one morning and say, surprise, I added 30 centimeters of insulation while you were sleeping. Renovated can mean 2 entirely different films. This is where many buyers get gently ambushed. There are genuine structural renovations. Agents might say rénovation énergétique or gros travaux, roof insulation. isolation de la toiture, isolation des combles. Double glazing, double vitrage. Proper heating system, système de chauffage central. Sensible ventilation, sometimes mentioned as VMC, installé. Moisture actually managed, not just ignored politely. And then there are cosmetic renovations, rafraîchissement, or travaux de décoration, beautiful paint, designer taps, lighting that makes every glass look like a wine commercial, a bathroom so stylish you almost feel you need a visa to enter. But winter does not review your house on aesthetics. Winter cares about physics. So, when you walk into a property that looks like it belongs in a magazine, your inner voice should calmly say, "This is lovely." Now, could we see the boring bits? The roof, the insulation, the windows, the part of the house that stops my nose from being cold in February. In French, you might even ask the agent, "Qu'est-ce qui a été fait en isolation et en chauffage?" What has been done in terms of insulation and heating? Rural France is not a your eyelashes freeze and fall off sort of climate. It's more of a why do my socks feel philosophical climate? The cold is often moderate but persistent, and it likes to team up with moisture, l'humidité. So your real opponents in winter are heat quietly escaping. You will see déperdition de chaleur in reports. Humidity quietly staying, sometimes mentioned as problème d'humidité or infiltration. Heat rises. If the roof isn't properly insulated, your house is basically running an unregistered sponsorship program for the atmosphere. What about windows? Older single-pane windows, simple vitrage, can look very charming, but in cold, wet weather, they will often radiate cold back into the room, grow condensation, encourage curtains to dance around dramatically whenever the wind gets ideas. You are not obliged to change them immediately. Many people live happily with them, but it's good to know what you are getting into. Double vitrage, double glazing, will come up a lot in property ads. Humidity clues? When you are visiting, pay attention to the following. That faint old cupboard smell in corners, often odeur de renfermé in French. Peeling paint or swollen skirting boards. Black speckles on walls or around window frames. Traces de moisissure. Cold, sticky feeling walls in certain rooms. None of this automatically means run away. It means ask more questions before declaring this your forever home. Let's talk about the quiet hero, ventilation. Ventilation is not glamorous. No one has ever said, "I fell in love with this place because of the extraction fan." But it does matter a lot. Old buildings were originally designed to let moisture escape. Then humans came along, added double glazing and plasterboard, and sometimes forgot to give the house a new way to breathe. So now, if there is no decent system to move air, you can end up with a warm house that still feels damp, like living in a slightly judgmental greenhouse. When you visit, ask things like, is there a VMC? That's ventilation mécanique contrôlée, a mechanical ventilation system you will see in French listings and diagnostics. How is steam removed from the bathroom and kitchen? Because a home that's warm and dry is lovely. A home that's warm and permanently humid is less cozy nest and more tropical terrarium featuring you. Let's talk about heating, the grown-up conversation. Rural homes often come with an interesting mix of heating sources. Mode de chauffage on the advert. Poêle à bois, wood stove. Poêle à granulés, pellet stove. Pompe à chaleur, heat pump. Radiateur électrique, electric radiators. Chaudière au fioul, older oil boiler that should probably have a retirement plan and a biography. None of these are automatically bad. The real question is, does this system make sense for this house in this climate with this level of insulation? So, a few useful angles when you are viewing. Wood or pellet stoves? Wonderful. Atmospheric, great for main living spaces, but someone has to buy, store and move the fuel. It's less romantic log fire and more daily relationship with heavy bags and kindling. Electric radiators, are they modern, efficient models with thermostats and programming, often radiateur à inertie, radiateur programmable? Or are they elderly metal boxes that look like they were designed when dinosaurs roamed the earth? Heat pumps or newer systems, great when combined with proper insulation and sensible temperatures. And then there is comfort. Is the house comfortable all day or only when you sit right next to the stove wearing 3 jumpers? If someone just says, "Oh, it's fine," you're allowed to follow up with fine as in "I don't think about it," or fine as in "we've adapted emotionally." And don't forget that winter tests the life around the house. Your home is not just the walls, it's everything you have to do from those walls. That long driveway that looks so majestic on a sunny evening, in January it may resemble a training course for off-road vehicles. The little lane that winds through the fields to your house, beautiful, and occasionally covered in mud, leaves or ice. So, a few questions to hold in your head. What happens here when it rains for 10 days straight? Has the access ever been slippery, flooded or temporarily impassable? You might see chemin parfois impraticable mentioned in an honest advert. How far are you really from the following? Une supérette or un supermarché? Food shops, un médecin généraliste, a doctor, une pharmacie, a pharmacy, a cafe or bar that stays open all year, and then the big practical one. If la chaudière, the boiler, breaks in February, how easy is it to get a heating engineer, un chauffagiste, out here? In a city, you might have 3 options. Out here, you may have one person who covers 13 villages, a mountain, and half a forest. Winter does not ruin rural life. It just reveals whether your daily routine and your location genuinely like each other. Haha! But here is the plot twist. Winter can be glorious if the house plays along. Here is the part that often gets forgotten. Once you've got the basics right, insulation, heating, ventilation, sensible location, winter in the countryside can be fantastic. You wake up to quiet. You put the kettle on. The house feels warm without you having to conduct a small battle. Outside might be grey, damp or frosty, but inside the atmosphere is calm, slow and oddly luxurious. You are not surviving, you are genuinely settled. That's the version we are aiming for. Not a dramatic survival story, just a steady, comfortable winter life where the house is on your side. And finally, let's talk about the questions to ask when you visit. When you are viewing properties, think of yourself as a friendly detective with a notepad. What's the heating system and how old is it? Boiler, stove, heat pump, radiators? Get specifics. In French, you might ask, quel est le système de chauffage et de quelle année est la chaudière? What insulation has been done, especially the roof? Then ask about walls and floors if relevant. In French, qu'est-ce qui a été fait en isolation, surtout au niveau du toit, des combles? What kind of windows are these? Single or double glazing? Any recent upgrades? In French, c'est du simple ou du double vitrage? How is humidity handled? VMC, extractor fans? Any history of damp? In French, vous avez une VMC? Il y a déjà eu des soucis d'humidité? Can we see the Energy Performance Report, DPE, and its recommendations? DPE stands for Diagnostic de Performance Énergétique. Roughly, how much do you spend on heating in winter? And do you heat the whole house or just part of it? What is access like in bad weather? Mud, snow, ice, flooding? Any stories? What is this place like in January? Not just the house, the village, the shops, the social life. And finally, does this house feel like it would take care of us in winter? Because in the end, this is not about avoiding old stone houses or quiet locations. It's about choosing the version of the countryside dream that survives contact with real seasons, real bills, and real Tuesdays in February. If the house still makes sense in winter, not just in your imagination, but on your energy bills, your access, your comfort, then you haven't just bought a summer fantasy. You have chosen a full year life you can actually enjoy. Thank you for watching. I love you all.